Hello, how are you doing today? Just a quick video response to my other video. Somebody asked me, well, why should things be the way they are now? It was about my video shoulds and shouldn'ts. So here's my answer. Why should things be the way they are? And this is just my opinion, okay? Things are the way they are now for a very good reason. It all makes perfect sense, okay? Because of the law of interconnectivity, everybody's connected. We're all connected. Not only are we connected on an energetic level, a subatomic level, a quantum level, and science shows this now, and many of the mystics and various religions had people who knew this thousands of years ago anyway. They knew this from spiritual practices and stuff. It's obvious that we're also interconnected too, you know. If I smile at somebody and they feel good, and then they walk down the street, they'll be happier and they might smile at somebody else. So even though I didn't meet the other person, I in a way affected him because of my smile, because it passes on. Whereas if I do something mean to someone, then they could be upset and go home to their family, and then they could end up being mean or having an argument, etc. So we're always affecting everyone all the time. At the gross, obvious level, with our actions and words, they're very obvious. If you say nice words or do nice things, it passes on and goes around in a big circle, a big lovely chain, which is gorgeous. I love that. All the more reason to be nice, eh? But not to force or strive or try and do it in an unnatural sort of way. But then also we're connected to on a more like energetic, non-obvious way, and that's with our thoughts and our feelings. What we're thinking and feeling is affecting everybody all the time too. So basically, we're like manifesting machines, manifesting devices, manifesting beings. We are, yeah, with our thoughts and feelings all the time, every second, every moment, any particular time we're either aware or not aware. We're always creating and co-creating with everybody else in the whole world. We're affecting the global consciousness. So you're either consciously creating, which is when you're awake and aware, the more enlightened, just to use a bit of a fancy word, don't take that too seriously now, but the more conscious you are, the more you consciously create, where you're either consciously creating or you're unconsciously creating through your unconscious reactions. So either way you're creating, but the more you can consciously create, the more you can thoroughly consciously create and affect your own world, your own experiences, and the world of everybody else too, the world we live in. So that's that's awareness. That's about awareness, being aware of your thoughts and feelings, and being more aware of your thoughts and feelings, the ones that you do have, as opposed to the ones that you're not aware of. And then also having a deeper awareness or realization of the power of your thoughts and feelings too, as well as your actions and words. So we don't have to react in an unconscious, conditioned manner when an event happens to us, or if a person is challenging or whatever. Instead of having an unconscious reaction, which is the way most people do a lot of the time, we can choose our response. We can, no matter what the situation or the person, the situation in our life, no matter how challenging it is, or no matter how unexpected it is, the more awareness and development we have spiritually, the more we can choose how we want to respond in the moment with a wakefulness and awareness. It's not like our buttons are pushed and we suddenly react like a machine. That's totally expected and predictable. It's not because it's from past conditioning, but we can choosefully choose which way we want to feel and respond, what we want to say, what we want to do, if at all. Yeah, usually we want to do stuff because that's the way the world we live in. How we think in our response. our perception, and how we're going to feel about it too, and how we're going to feel about the person. I like to feel good about everything as much as I can. So no matter if it's raining and they said it was going to be a gloriously sunny day, that's great. It's a new opportunity for something else, and the rain has got loads of benefits also. Or if someone is being, let's say me, if I have thoughts going on in my head that are causing me to feel like emotional suffering, which I don't do anymore. I used to. But a lot of people are like this. I'd notice the way that this is how I'm feeling right now. That's the way I was thinking. I'd put attention on my thoughts, and I'd accept the way I am right now, and I'd try and respect the way I am, and I'd love myself tenderly the way I am in my so-called imperfections or whatever else. I'd still think it's perfect, part of the growth and evolution of myself. But anyway, I went off on pretty cool tangents there. I enjoyed that. Just in my back garden here now. But I'll get back to the question, okay. Why are things like perfect the way they are, or why should things be the way they are right now? So the first reason is because of the law of interconnectivity, and the second reason is because of the law of cause and effect, which combines with the law of interconnectivity, because if I do something, that's a cause, and then that has an effect on somebody else. So it makes sense why somebody is the way they are, or why we are the way we are, because there has been a cause that affected us to make us, influence us to be the way we are. And this can be kind of traced back to the beginning of time. Like things make sense. That's why I'm saying things make sense. If someone is grumpy, they're not grumpy for no reason. They're grumpy for a reason. There's a sensical reason why they are the way they are. And if we understood what they had been thinking or feeling, or all of their experiences in the last day or hour or week, then we'd have a much better understanding of why they're feeling grumpy. But most people just don't like that someone's grumpy, and they feel bad, and they decide to judge and get annoyed at the person. That's just our conditioned way of thinking from being in and living in our unenlightened society. So it's just lack of understanding, basically, is the biggest principle for myself regarding why people don't get on well and why they do get on well. It's understanding each other's feelings and thoughts, and why we behave the way we do, why we act the way we do, why we think the way we do. With understanding, compassion automatically happens. With understanding also happens largely not so much from the mind, but also from empathizing. But anyway, I won't get into that right now, but when we empathize with somebody, we create a deep connection where we feel what they're feeling. And it means we know how they're feeling, and we feel for the person. They're close to us, they're close to our heart. They're not like a distant, disconnected problem or thorn in our lives. They're another human being just like us when we empathize, who are feeling things that we know we've felt ourselves. And it allows a space for us to feel gentle towards them, and a peacefulness in our heart, a tenderness. But if they're harmful or destructive, then that doesn't mean we're going to be a walkover. We can get out of their lives or stop being in their company anymore. And if we wish, we can also try and tell them how their behavior is affecting others, and hopefully help them to change and to heal, etc. If we feel comfortable and up to that. So that's why things make sense. Another reason why things make sense is because of the law of like attracts like, the law of attraction. What we think about, we bring about. What we focus on expands. So if we're thinking vibrations that feel great, we're going to attract more great feeling things in our life that make us feel more great. If we're feeling lots of appreciation, we'll attract more things to feel grateful for. If we're feeling the vibrations of criticism, complaining, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, resentment, etc., and we feel bad, we will create more of things in our life to feel this way about. So it all makes sense, yeah. So when we say yes to the present moment, which is what Eckhart Tolle is saying, and loads of spiritual teachers say, of course, but when he says say yes to the present moment, that's to say okay to the present moment. I accept the way things are. I allow them to be just at this instant. It's not accepting a whole situation and doing nothing about it. It's accepting this moment in its instance, just right now. Accepting it to be the way it is. It's feeling good about it in a sense, almost. It's the more you can accept to a degree, the more peace you feel. That's the measurement of how much you are accepting this present moment. So if you want to know how much you're accepting this present moment, see how peaceful you feel. And all you can do is the best you can now. You're not failing or having a problem if you're not fully accepting. Most people can't fully accept this present moment if it's challenging, unless they've done a lot of spiritual work, spiritual growth, expansion and learning, etc. Spiritual investigation. Such a beautiful day here in my backyard. Wish a few of you, or a lot of you, could be here. You could be here. It'd be deadly. It's the thing, wondering how many people could fit in the garden. So saying yes to the present moment. When we say yes to the present moment, we're empowered. We can see the present moment clearly as it is without having a futile, crazy, insane internal battle with the reality that already is existing in the present moment. Fighting the present moment and resisting it and feeling all this inner criticism and judgment and inner resistance towards what already is in existence. This creates a big rift, a big gap between what is reality and what you in your little small self ego is saying. No, this is the way it should be. But the whole of life from the beginning of time and all the laws that I mentioned before, they're all saying this is the way it is for a really good reason. And here are you over here trying to say no, you're all wrong. I'm right. It should be this way. So this is why it's like spiritually immature to be in resistance to the present moment. And we all have this like maturity or immaturity to different levels, and it's all good. It's all okay to have this be like this and to be the way you are now. Going along with what I'm saying, you should be the way you are. That's fine right now. Don't beat yourself up if you have resistance. Just watch it and let it go. So when we accept this present moment, we can take really effective action. It's brilliant because we no longer have the huge turmoil and inner disharmony within us. We can take amazingly creative, conscious action, aware action, instead of an unconscious negative reaction. We can be a conscious creator and a conscious chooser in our life. We feel relaxed and at peace, so we can see things way more clearly, and we can take way more precise and empowered, powerful action to change events towards the way we want to create them and manifest them. So that's what I'm saying about shoulds and shouldn'ts. It's not the word that's important, because should and shouldn't is different in different languages. It's the energy of resistance to the present moment that's the underlying important thing that I want to mention, that I wanted to mention in my first video. It's the energy of resistance to the moment. And don't forget, this moment is where life always and always has unfolds. We always live in this moment. This is where things happen. This moment. This is where we live it. This moment, it could be thoughts you're thinking in this moment. It could be feelings or emotions you're feeling in this moment. It could be an external event that's happening, and that's also in this moment. It could be somebody you're with that's doing something or not doing something in this moment. All of that happens in the present moment. So acceptance of this present moment means a non-resistance to all and any of this, all of it. It's all happening in the present moment.